Hi, my name's Rachel, and today I have very exciting news. I'm here to announce the upcoming round 11 of Queer Lit Readathon, and that I am this round's guest host. Yay! Queer Lit Readathon is a twice yearly readathon all about reading queer lit. It is typically held in June and December. It's usually a week long, and its creators slash hosts are Kathy and Rogan, whose socials and videos and stuff I will link below. I'm very excited though to announce that this round of Queer Lit Readathon for the first time ever is going to be a month long. So a full month long during Pride Month readathon. So the dates for this round are June 1st through 30th, 2023. We're putting this video up a month in advance to give you time to create your TBR based on the bingo board if you want to participate in that way. I'll go over that in a second. We will be putting up our personal TBR videos on May 18th, and you are welcome to do so as well. And you can follow queer_lit on Twitter and Instagram, which is linked below for reminders and updates and recommendations and announcements for things like sprints. Before I tell you what's on the bingo board, I want to tell you about the group book first, because it's one that I have, well, there's two group books and I've read both before, but there's one in particular that is very near and dear to my heart, and it covers much of the bingo board already. So you could just read this one book and boom, you succeed at Queer Lit Readathon round 11. The other group book, well, here, I'll do the drum roll for the group books. Finna by Nino Sippery and All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Finna is a fiction book that I read actually pretty recently by Nino Sippery, and it is a short sci-fi book about a queer couple, well, former couple, who work at a store that is basically IKEA. One day a wormhole opens in the store and the two of them are tasked with going and finding an old lady who went into the wormhole and got lost. And they get into a whole bunch of pickles once they embark on this task. It's very reminiscent of like Doctor Who. It's very fun, while also managing to like tackle some like deep themes in a very short read, and the audiobook is a delight, and it's very anti-capitalist. We love that. The other book is also short, but it is not fiction. It is one of my all-time favorites, All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, and I cannot wait to reread this. It is a young adult memoir manifesto is what they call it, by journalist and activist George M. Johnson, about their experiences growing up as a Black queer child and young adult, and even into joining a sorority as a young college kid. I think it's one of the most important books out there, in my opinion, in teaching young adults that who they are is valid and beautiful and matters, and it features one of the most important grandmother relationships I've ever read. Oh, I'm gonna cry thinking about it. I wanted to note that All Boys Aren't Blue has been frequently censored because of its LGBTQIA+ themes and its profanity, which, oh my god, who gives a fuck about that? Sorry. It is also considered to be sexually explicit. In 2021, the American Library Association, via their Office of Intellectual Freedom, said that it was the third most banned book and challenged book in the United States that year, and it was the second most challenged book in 2022. School boards in at least 10 states have removed the book from circulation, and this brings me to the bingo board. I requested that specifically with the uptick in queer books being censored recently, we add a bingo square for a banned book. You can read another, but All Boys Aren't Blue fits, and it is one of our two group books, so it also fits that square. In fact, it fits a lot of squares. Shout out to Rogan, because they created the bingo board and all the graphics, so everything you see here was created by Rogan. Shout out to them for doing that. Just shout out to Rogan and Kathy for continuously putting this together. It's a great readathon. Alright, so basically just use the squares to create a TBR that features queer characters or queer topics or a queer author. You can read any age range you would like, as long as it's queer. If you can make the prompts fit by reading manga or whatever, you can do that. It's really relaxed. Do whatever works for you. You also do not have to go the usual route of bingo. You can do corners, you can do a blackout, you can just do the challenges you want to do, you can do your favorite color, whatever works for you or is easy on you. Just have fun. Like, it's not, nobody's gonna police you about this. Like, it's just meant to be fun. All right, first bingo square is banned book. Read a book that has been banned or at least challenged. The ALA has a list if you want to check that out for ideas. I can link that down below. Or again, you can just read All Boys Aren't Blue, which is one of the two group books. The group books, as I said, are Finna by Nino Sippery, which is fiction, and All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, which is nonfiction. Next square is trans joy, so read a book featuring trans joy. This could simply be met again by just reading All Boys Aren't Blue, in my opinion, but whatever that means to you, do that. The choose your own category, this is the free space essentially. You know how in the middle there's usually a free space in the middle of bingo? You know, actually, you know how Airheads have like a mystery flavor? This is like that, except you choose your own flavor. Make it whatever you want. For me, I'm making it my reread square because I've already read All Boys Aren't Blue, so my, pick your own is reread a book. M-spec, which is multiple gender attraction spectrum, being attracted to more than one gender. So bisexual, pansexual, omnisexual. Read a book with one of those characters or about a person who is M-spec or by an M-spec author. Make it work for you. Next is history. This can be historical fiction or nonfiction, whatever works for you. As long as it's queer, it counts. Next is host recommendation. I didn't get Kathy and Rogan's approval on this, but I recommend All Boys Aren't Blue, so if you just want to read All Boys Aren't Blue and consider that a host rec, I think it works personally. But we are going to be putting out recommendations. Kathy has a Queer from A to Z entire playlist of videos where you can go find a queer rec for literally anything. Kathy's the best about that. So any book that we have ever recommended that's queer also works. Just make it work for you. Next is memoir. Again, All Boys Aren't Blue works. Next is crime. This can be fiction or nonfiction as long as it is either by a queer author or has queer themes or queer characters. It has to be about crime. Next is NB author or main character. Again, All Boys Aren't Blue counts, but so does Finna by Nino Sippery. Next is intersectional. So read a book that either in the text has a character or is written by an author or has themes about overlapping identities and experiences. So parts of a person, their lived experiences, their life, their self that overlap and influence each other. And again, as a Black queer author, that is an intersection, and All Boys Aren't Blue once again fits. Next is folklore. Read a book either about folklore or with folklore in it. As long as it is relative to queerness, it works. Next is continued. So this can mean continue on with a series or continue on with an author whose work you previously enjoyed, read their next book. I'm personally hoping to pick up Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand next month because that is an author that I have enjoyed. Furyborn is one of my favorite series, the Imperium trilogy, and that has bisexual characters. Well, gay and bisexual characters. And Sawkill Girls is not related to the Imperium trilogy, but it is a book by Claire Legrand, so I'm going to continue on with her bibliography. I know that Sawkill Girls does contain a asexual main character. Not me giving away my TBR before the 18th. Whoops. Next is short stories. It can be a singular short story or a collection of short stories. I have recs for both, which I will talk about in a different video. Sapphic, so read a book with sapphic characters or discussions about being sapphic or written by a sapphic author. Sapphic just means non-men, so women and NB folks loving non-men. So anyone who's not a man is involved in sapphic relationships. Queer friends, read a book featuring queer friends or queer friendship or about the theme of queer friendship, or read a book by an author who's a friend of yours who's queer. Just make it work for you. Those are the bingo squares. Check the description below for all links and info. Make sure to go follow Kathy and Rogan and queer_lit on Twitter and Instagram. We will be posting our recommendations that coincide with the bingo board challenges. Tell me your TBR below and which bingo square you're most excited about. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!